Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we have some Many Saints of Newark news. Now the trailer launched today at noon and I saw it from Michael Imperioli's Instagram. It's also available on YouTube on the Warner Brothers channel. A link to that will be in the description below if you haven't seen it yet. Before we get started, be sure to click subscribe and click the bell to get notifications on all upcoming Sopranos videos. Now this video will be a different type of video. This will be a breakdown of the newly released trailer for the Many Saints of Newark, as I will break down the trailer and also provide some little secrets that you may not have seen. And finally, we have an official release date for the film, and that is October 1st, as it will be available in theaters come that day and also available on HBO Max as well. Now the trailer begins with the legendary voice of Tony Soprano. He says, "When I was a kid, guys like me were brought up to follow codes." Honestly, to have the trailer begin this way is so David Chase, and it seriously sent chills down my spine. Now we see young Tony on the phone and some punk calls him a jerk off for what seems to be no reason. But if we freeze frame it here, we see that Tony is with a young blonde girl. Now maybe this could possibly be young Carmela trying to stop Tony from punching this idiot. We then proceed to hear his name being called, and this voice honestly sounds so familiar, and it almost sounds like his gym teacher. It sounds like his name is being called for attendance in school or something, as it could possibly be his gym teacher who we saw in his test stream. Sticking with the theme of school, we see that this could very well be the same school that they shot Tony's test stream in, as it looks pretty similar. And in Tony's test stream, they could have renovated the hallway by adding lockers as time passed. Later on, we see that a guidance counselor speaks with Tony's mom and tells a young Livia that Tony has a high IQ despite having a D+ average. We come to discover that Tony doesn't apply himself but is smart and a leader, much like what we see from Dr. Melfi tell him in therapy, and also with Coach Molinaro, as he always told him that growing up.
"I told you many times, Anthony, you were special. You had smarts, personality, leadership potential, all the perquisites to lead young men onto the field of sport."
Livia seems to smirk and laugh at the idea of Tony being a leader, and we see her rotten attitude visible from a young age. We see Tony standing in a diner, as this could very well be the same diner where he may or may not have gotten killed in the last episode of The Sopranos. We then cut to the story of Dickie Moltisanti, Christopher's father. He's drinking alcohol, and we see him almost hiding his drinking from Tony in a way that's very similar to Christopher hiding his drinking problem and drug problem from Tony. Dickie then proceeds to tell Tony that he's his nephew and that he wants to help him however he can. It's clear to see that Dickie had a strong influence on Tony growing up, as Tony kind of projects the same words to Christopher throughout the show, and Dickie and Tony's relationship could potentially be viewed as a father and son relationship, much like Christopher and Tony's. Dickie then gives Tony some speakers or televisions of some sort, but Tony hesitates as he said he wants to go to college. And Dickie tells Tony to say to himself that it's the last time he's ever going to steal something. This is much like Christopher's drug addiction and how he kept saying to himself this is the last time he's going to shoot up and get high. It's clear to see the parallels from Dickie Moltisanti and Christopher. We then get our first glimpse of young Uncle Junior and young Johnny Boy Soprano. Later on, we see the race riots that were taking place in New Jersey in 1967 come into play, as this is a major aspect of the film and something that we saw in one of Tony's flashbacks as a kid. An African-American man proceeds to say that they have to do something about Dickie Moltisanti. But it's a little odd here, as we were told in The Sopranos that Christopher's father died from a crooked cop and not an African-American. But it could possibly be that this is the man who kills Dickie Moltisanti, as the cop in The Sopranos was begging to Christopher that whoever was telling him this information was lying and setting him up. As we progress, we see more violence and hear the voice of Ray Liotta, and Tony and someone threaten to beat up an ice cream worker. Now this scene I thought was super interesting, as this could possibly be Tony and Silvio due to the big nose, or possibly Tony when he's a bit older with Christopher, but I believe it's probably Silvio. We then get a montage of more violence and Dickie proceeding to tell possibly a wife or Livia that Tony has what it takes to work in the mafia. One of the scenes in the montage looks to be Tony at a funeral. This could possibly be the funeral of Dickie or even Johnny Boy Soprano. My favorite shot from the trailer is this one right here, with Tony walking in the middle of his friend group. Now, I'm not entirely sure who's in here, but I'm going to guess starting from left to right. From left, we have Jackie Aprile Sr., Silvio Dante next to him, and Tony in the middle. Next to Tony, we could possibly have Ralph, and maybe Pussy or Artie next to him, as they were all friends growing up. We then have Ray Liotta telling Dickie to stay out of Tony's life, which which for some reason I kind of found a little bit odd, as this could possibly mean a conflict appears in the film, or that Dickie could just be a bad influence on Tony. It appears that Ray Liotta looks to be a boss in the Soprano family from his scenes throughout the trailer. We also see great attention to detail, with Tony wearing the same necklace as he does throughout the show. It would be cool if the necklace that Michael Gandolfini is wearing was the same necklace that his dad wore. And of course, we end the trailer with the Mother Mary fading away into black, and the classic Sopranos theme song appears at the end of the trailer. Well, that's pretty much it. I absolutely cannot wait for this film to be released, and I thought the trailer looked incredible. If you think differently about my comments about the trailer, and also would like to voice your opinions about the trailer, let me know down in the comment section below. For more Sopranos theme videos, keep it locked here, right here on this channel.